Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Andre C. This week, I am not joined by my co-host, Melball, as scheduling conflicts have kept us from here tonight. But I am here tonight to talk to you about the New Japan Pro Wrestling Television Title Tournament, specifically the first 6 matches in the tournament. As of this recording, that was the first only matches that have happened because the next matches do not happen until October 26th, and then they follow up on the 27th, 28th, and 29th with the semifinals and the final, or the semifinal, whatever it is. The next 2 rounds, and then the finals. The semifinals and the finals will be right after that. So yeah, I am Andre C. Welcome everybody that is joining us here on Twitch on our live stream, and thank you to everybody who is watching on YouTube. When this comes out, I appreciate everybody's participation, whether you're on live or on video on demand afterwards. I appreciate all of you. So, without further ado, we are going to get into the TV title tournament. And the first of the matches we are going to talk to the TV title tournament happened at Battle Bottom on October 14th. And it was David Finlay taking on Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Now, I have a big load of notes, as I usually do. But all these matches, before we get anywhere, all the matches will be contested under 15-minute time limits. So for that, it's I think more or less it's going to be a TV title, so it's going to be limiting the time that we're going to see the matches. Which for this tournament, especially with who's in this tournament, it could have been a very long matches with the people that are in this. So it's quite interesting to see what will come from this tournament. So I do very much like that, and so I'm just trying to. Sorry, just give me one second, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to put the actual TV title tournament, the TV title actually up. So I'm just bringing that up right now. Share, and it should be that. It's coming up on your screen. Yeah, I guess not. My computer doesn't like me, so I guess not. That's not coming. But it did kick off with David Finlay taking on Yoshinobu Kanemaru in the first of the tournament rounds. And actually, I thought really good start to the tournament. I've become David Finlay after this year's D1. I think has been a top talent for New Japan Wrestling, and like a lot of the people saying going forward, like he really involved himself in that tournament, and I think being in that tournament has really shown how good he is. So in coming into this, I think this is a perfect step up for him into this tournament. Like I could possibly see him as a winner of this. Giving him this championship gives him a great place to be. I want to give a shout out to all the Raiders coming in from the member of the game channel. Thank you so much, Adam, for rating the stream. I really appreciate it. And to all those tuning in now that came in along with Adam, thank you so much for joining in. Again, I'm talking the New Japan television title tournament. If you want to stick around and watch, I'm glad to have you here. So, and then he's taking on a man who has spent a lot of his time in the junior division in Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and especially in the junior tag division with El Desperado. And was actually a really good match. I want to give a thank you, Squeak Nuts, for joining us here. I'm doing very good, just talking about some wrestling. But this actually started off pretty quick. A lot of good roll-ups. The first 2 minutes of this match, the first 4 to 5 minutes of this, were actually a lot of headlock, shoulder blocks, just a few forearm strikes. Yoshinobu Kanemaru actually really great spot. Ran up, did a head scissors takedown, but kept the head scissors on to really work the neck, and it it was really good, and they end up rolling it all the way to the outside, and literally Kenmore keeps it on all the way to the count of 15 on the outside. Then he runs in, and Finley gets back in right at the count of 19 to keep himself in the match. A lot of great stuff from here. Great moonsault off the top by Kenmore. Got him a 2 count. Finley reversed the deep impact into Freeman off to his super stunner. Finley ended up reversing a satellite DP into another Freeman Octor, and then got the Blue Thunder bomb. And then the ending of the match came when Finley got the Trash Panda, which is his kneecap brainbuster, for the 1-2-3. Finley moves on in this tournament. I thought wonderful first round match, the first of the first round matches, and it's really good. So we got Savagery coming in here. What's up? One question: which wrestler does everyone think has the best spinning wrestler? I think the best spinning wrestler of all time has to be Arn Anderson. He's the man. The Double A threw down the best spine wrestler of them all. I don't think there's much of anybody better that ever did it than him. So that's my answer, anyways. But moving on to the next match of the tournament, it is Alex Zane taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Alex Zane actually very quite new to New Japan Wrestling, only debuted back in May during the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, and taking on perennial New Japan wrestling, pure wrestling god Zack Sabre Jr. This actually was a really good match because this is a clash of styles. Alex Zane is a very high flying, high impact kind of guy, where Zack Sabre wants to control the match, keep it to the ground. I thought wonderful match from these two. Just some of the highlights from Zane, where he's just does a running corkscrew splash just from his feet. He just his all his moves is I got it written down here. What was it called? The taco driver. His taco driver, insanely funny. His Baja Blast, really good. He is this awesome guy who likes to take all these things from like fast foods to make for his name. Where Zack Sabre Jr. was a big fan of using band names in music from England and punk music as the names of his submission finishers. Really good. There was a great where Alex Zane running does a front flip and does a front flip into the Billy Gunn Famouser for a 2, which was really good. Sabre catches him with a Euro clutch at one point, getting a 2 count. And yeah, I really impressed with both these men. And with Zane really keeping it as more of a standing, running, moving impact style match compared to what Sabre usually likes to wrestle. I thought was really good. Zane at one point catches this kick and just cracks Sabre across the face and just slaps him super hard, and then hits this crazy clothesline. Really good. Sabre ended up reversing a taco driver into an arm and triangle choke for any of the MMA fans out there. But then Alex Zane then turns it into a power bomb, and a vicious looking power bomb. Zane did go to the top from there, went for the cinnamon twist, which is his corkscrew senton, but misses, and Sabre gets an arm leg stretch, but Zane did get the rope. And then Zane went for another taco driver, and Sabre reverses that into a knee bar and gets the submission victory. But when Zane tapped, it was actually 14 minutes 55 seconds, which was 5 seconds before the time was to expire. So Sabre just getting that submission last second, which was just beautiful. So yeah, to list speaking out, who would you take? Undertaker, Kane? It's Undertaker, simple, 100%. It's definitely the Undertaker, yeah. But before we move on, I want to. Where is text? It is. I want to move at the top of your screen. You are very much seeing. That didn't mean to go that way. You're seeing Rogue Energy. This is a sponsor here on NJPW Puroresu Review and Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk in association with OLE. You go to rogueenergy.com to get your energy drink supplements today, all natural. If you use the code OLEPAUSE, you get 10% off your order. So please check them out. As they again, supporting them supports us. So thank you. please support them. But from here, we're going to move on to the next match in the TV title tournament, which did take place on October 15th. And this is against a man named Aaron Hanari, who's part of one of my favorite groups in professional wrestling in the United Amber, taking on Evil, a man who I dislike so much, and is part of one of the least terrible factions in professional wrestling in the House of Torture. I didn't dislike this match as much as I usually dislike Evil matches, but there was still a lot of House of Torture shenanigans. Hanari did get some great offense in, but again, it was really overshadowed again by the Togo turning off the lights. Togo, the low blows, Togo's attempt at a garrote, but Hanari fought him off. It's a lot of the same like spiel you get from Evil a lot. Hanari did get some good stuff in. He did get a beautiful snapmare and then kick right to the spine. Like his kicks, I can't say this enough. His kicks are lethal. They hurt. They look like they hurt so very much. Like they do not look pretty. They don't look. They're very pretty, but they don't look. They look like they feel very good getting kicked. One cool spot where actually Hanari got Evil in the ropes and hit the very much reminiscent of Sheamus, and it's the beats of Ballroom hitting the forearms to the front of the chest while he's tied up in the ropes. I thought beautiful spot, and again for a character like his, actually I thought a very good maneuver to put into his arsenal, especially with his striking based attack and everything that he does. Blue Thunder Bomb hit by Hanari after taking Togo off the rope, but he only got a 2 count. Hanari did get full Nelson, which is his submission finisher, Ultima on, but that's when the lights went out, and that's when I went, oh, more of this crap. And it hadn't been too bad, other than like a little bit of Togo interference at that point. The light goes out. Hanari's on the mat holding his crotch. Obviously, Evil has low blowed him, and the ref is down. This is where I was like, really lack of a term, fuck this spot, because it happens in almost every Evil match, and I'm just getting very, very sick of seeing those. And I just can't get behind his constant cheating and his constant Dick Togo interference. This is where Togo ends up sliding a chair into Evil. He hits Hanari in the head, but Hanari just gets up and starts unloading on Evil. Throws him into the corner, hits a high knee, and then hits the Rampage for 2. But again, only gets a 2, so Evil's still surviving. And then Hanari reverses like. Evil likes to do the magic killer with using the ref or Togo. So he lifts him up onto the ref's shoulder, but the ref sounds like no, and Hanari kicks his feet off the ref, and then hits a spin kick and goes and putting Evil down, goes up to the top, goes for a senton, but misses, and this is where Evil pushes Hanari into the exposed corner that Togo had pulled the protection away from, and then hits everything as Evil and wins. Oh my god, I was praying Hanari was going to get the win in this match, just so I didn't have to see Evil again in this tournament. And I am very disappointed. As also some of the stuff that they were talking about early on is that it was supposed to be a title to help push forward the younger wrestlers. Why is a guy like Evil getting the move forward in this tournament when a younger guy like Hanari should be moving forward in this tournament? Those are the kind of things I don't really care too much for, but that, again, personal opinion, but I still don't care for it. But again, Evil moving on, and we all just have to suffer that much more with another Evil match in the next round of this tournament. So we move on to the other match on October 15th, and that was Jeff Cobb taking on Yoshihashi in what I really thought was, again, Yoshihashi coming into play. Like, all through his G1 run, he kept coming out and having great matches. Again, G1 Yoshihashi really stepped up. And I think he's kept it going. Outside of a couple matches he's had in between, I thought this was a really great match between him and Jeff Cobb. Really fast start. Cobb getting his delayed suplex uh, very early on, but he does hit the really cocky, like he gets down, like poses, puts the knee on the chest pin, but only gets I think it's like a 1.5, maybe a 2. But I love Jeff Cobb, but he gets cocky with a lot of stuff. And then he proceeds to roll Yoshihashi over, does his where he stands on the back and pretends to do the surfing thing. I very much enjoy that spot, but again, Yoshihashi, when Cobb goes for the standing moonsault, Yoshihashi got his knees up, but the way it was played is that Yoshihashi, while hurting Cobb, also hurt himself because of how big Jeff Cobb is. Coming down on your knees, it's going to hurt your knees on top of it all. But then Yoshihashi gets a drop kick to the knees, and then or to the knee in the ropes, wrapped it in the ropes, and then he got a neck breaker, but only got a 2 count again. A lot of more great stuff. Jeff uh, Jeff Cobb got rolled to the outside, and Yoshihashi was watching him, and then goes for a plancha, thinking he had him, but Jeff Cobb just caught him and just slammed him on the slammed him something into the post, like upside down, goes into the post on the outside. Looked really really good. Um, and then back in the ring, Cobb did get a gut wrench suplex off the top, but he kind of got cocky and waited, and then got the pin. Like he slowly moved over, and then he followed up with another standing moonsault, and then but when he comes down, he snatched his knee, like, and he was holding the knee before he gets the pin again, and that way, and again, only got a delay with the delay. Yoshihashi kicked out at 2. Again, this is a match like this is probably the one. This or the Alex Zane and Saber match are the 2 matches I think out of this entire of this first round so far. I think have been the most impressive in ring wise. Because again, Yoshihashi has really, really stepped it up. Yoshihashi got a knee bar, then transitioned into a rear naked choke, but Cobb ends up standing up and running him backwards into the corner. Again, I love the spot, the knee bar, and then transition it once Cobb rolled on his belly, transitioning into the rear naked choke, and then Cobb just showing the power of just standing up with ease with Yoshihashi in the back. And Yoshihashi is not a small person. He's 220-ish around there. So that's a lot of weight on your back, just lifting a man up and running him backwards into the rope. Spin cycle, which is the spinning backdrop driver by Cobb. And he goes for the tour of the island, but Yoshihashi goes for a small package during the move, but Cobb does kick out at 2. Yoshihashi, and then Cobb pulls him in and goes for another tour of the island, but Yoshihashi turns it into an attempt for karma, and then just rolls him into a pin from karma, does the rolling karma, and gets a very surprising victory. Again, I was very surprised seeing Yoshihashi win this match because I really thought Jeff Cobb was going to get the push here. But I'm very, very excited to see if Yoshihashi continues with how good he looked in this match. I think going forward into the rest of the tournament, I think he could be a real contender going forward. I really, really enjoyed this match with these two, and I really look forward to what Yoshihashi does next. So yeah, I'm very impressed with this match. Like again, this or the Zack Sabre Jr. and Alex Zane match for me are the 2 matches from this tournament so far that I would highly recommend to anybody. We're going to move on to October 16th, and it is legend Hiroki Goto taking on another legend in Japanese professional wrestling, Kenta. Like this again, like I said earlier, when this stuff came out, I really thought it was to push young guys, but again, both these guys veterans in the business. But you need veterans in the tournament to help really sell it. But I think this match, like these two had a really good match. Again, a lot of more of the Kenta trying to cheat, Kenta trying to do his little avoid stuff. But both these men, the kicks, the strikes in this match, just insanely brutal. There was actually a spot where Kenta kept trying to inadvertently hit the ref. Marty dodged it twice, but and on the second time he did a roll out of the way. I was really impressed with Marty Asami on that spot, but he did get hit on the third try. But I was really happy with Marty Azami. Helping me avoid it and then doing a roll to avoid it. I was like, wow, the ref actually does something to avoid getting hit for one of the few times in professional wrestling. Kenta does get a chair from the outside while Marty Asami's down, and then misses Goto, and Goto ends up clotheslining the chair into Kenta's face, getting so Kenta get the comeuppance from trying to screw with Goto in that sense, and it actually busted open Kenta on the head. Goto goes to pick up the chair, but he decides not to use it, and then Kenta gets a roll up at that point puts his feet on the rope, but the ref did catch him and didn't count to three because he did see the feet on the rope. And then Goto goes for the GTR, but Kenta tries to roll him in. So Kenta tries to roll out of it, and Goto just kind of sits down on him, like he had him in the GTR underneath, and then Kenta tried to roll through to get him into a pin. Like, and he just just sitting down right on his face, almost on his face. It was actually pretty funny. But only got a 2 count. And then Kenta lifts him up, goes for the GTS, but it comes down, and Goto kind of turns as he comes down, and he doesn't really catch him. And then so he immediately picks him back up, lifts him up, and successfully hits the GTS for the 1, 2, 3, and Kenta is moving on in this tournament. Again, really great match between the two of them. It's the same. It's Kenta's constant need to go out and get chairs, try to knock refs over, do the dirty things. Again, he's playing heel. I get it, but you don't have to do a lot of those tactics to play heel. I think you just kind of have a little it wouldn't almost every match you're trying to get a chair in there or trying to take a ref out. That's when it gets repetitive. But he's very good at what he does. At least I really still enjoy everything else about his in-ring work. So he'll never be at the evil level. I just wish he would stop with doing the chair stuff almost every match, trying to knock the ref down every match. I just wish he would do it a little bit less. That's the main thing here. So, but again, he still had a really great match, I thought. And then now move on to the final match in the of night 16. Again, the final of the 6 matches that have come out since as of when we're recording this. It is Taichi taking on Sonata. And actually, a really cool spot at the start was when Taichi was in the ring after his entrance, and Sonata came around. Sonata got onto the apron to take his mask off, and Taichi just rolls up beside him, and they takes the mask off with him because they both have the mask on during their entrance. I thought, I was like, I like that spot. I like that little, because they've been doing this thing in the past while through the Burning Spirit tour, where they were wrestling each other, but doing competing with each other a bit, which did go into the match a bit, where they do a push-up, where Taichi challenges Sonata to a push-up contest. And they think they each did about 3 or 4 push-ups before Taichi jumps to his feet and jumps on Sonata, getting a Gato clutch. But then Sonata pretty much immediately reverses into a Kata roll, which Taichi gets out of. And then Sonata ends up hitting a dropkick and goes to the top and misses the Muda moonsault, and Taichi hits the Axe Bomber clothesline and then gets a power bomb. It brings him down to this. It was really, I don't think he had him the right way, and it came down really odd where he was trying, I think Sonata tried to do a Rana off his shoulders, and then he brought him back up, but took him with a weird angle power bomb. So yeah, it was just odd thing, but in the chat is my co-host Melball. Man, I wish you would have been here at the beginning to join me. Come on, jeez. But scheduling conflict. I think she's on her phone somewhere. While she's watching this with what she's doing. But again, shout out to Melball. I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but I miss you. I miss you dearly. So, but she will be back on very soon, hopefully, to do some wrestling with me. So she'll be back on soon. Trust me. So yeah, but yeah, there was some really good stuff. Taichi, as always, he gets the Greco-Roman throat hold, as Kevin Kelly likes to call it. It's the illegal choke, but Kevin Kelly always gives it. It's like, no, it's a Greco-Roman throat hold. It's legal. But yeah, But Melball saying, yeah, sorry, but she promises next time she won't disappoint. So yeah, she'll be here next time. So yeah, she will be back for the next time we do a stream like this. But yeah, I thought these two had a really good match. At one point, it's a spot that I think everybody loves in a Taichi match. Boom! Off comes the pants. It's Taichi again. I'm learning to appreciate a few things more and more. That man, every time I watch him wrestle, there was a point when I watched Taichi and I just couldn't stand him. But I thought he's become such an entertaining character. Working with X Virginia, I think, really exposed me, especially for him, because I'm such a Saber fan that I was watching him so much. I really became a fan. I watched the intricacies that he had, and I thought he did really, really well. But yeah, dangerous backdrop by Taichi. But then Sonata immediately gets up, hits this tiger suplex, and then a spinning forearm, and both men just drop to the mat, and they're just like out, and then they both kind of just roll slowly to the outside to the floor. Yeah, it's Mel again in the chat. Tech dancing, pants swiping, sweet singing. What's not to like about Taichi? I don't know. There's not much to like. There's not much not to like about Taichi anymore. I again, like I said, I've become a big fan of Taichi over these last couple of years when it was association in the tag team with Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, both men roll to the outside. And they're both sitting on the outside until like literally the count, like the announcer says 19, and that's when both men get up and just barely get back into the ring, just as the ref was about to count 20. And it was just like a great spot, like to really sell the guys on the outside. Sonata goes for a suplex, but Taichi blocks it and hits like this beautiful Marufuji hook kick. I think, yeah, I'm going to say I'm wrong person, but just beautiful hook kick, and then a huge punch to like just right across the jaw by Taichi and just hits his the Enziguri, or as he calls it, the Gamangiri. Then gets a stacked power bomb, but only gets a two. Like this is, and they're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of this match. Like it's just coming and then coming. You can hear the announcer, like the announcer over the loudspeaker calling time, and then Taichi goes for Black Mephisto, but it's countered into a Tiger Driver powerbomb by Sonata. But Sonata doesn't get to go to the pin. They both kind of just lay there. And then Taichi went for Black Mephisto again. And then Sonata had him up on his shoulder to try, like, blocked. It was looking kind of like a Dominator, I'm not sure, but it got blocked. And Sonata gets the skull end. Like, they're doing a bunch of reversals. They get the skull end in and gets the hooks in. It's one. They're at 1 minute. The announcer's calling 1 minute at this point. And again, it's getting like you can see these guys really trying to get the thing. Sonata eventually abandons the skull end and goes for the moonsault. Gets it, but only gets a two. Sonata then goes back up to the top, but when he goes for the moonsault, Taichi gets the knees up, and Taichi gets a 2 count out of it. Taichi then immediately tries to go for the goes for the Gato clutch, but Sonata reverses it. It goes, kicks out a 2 and then reverses it, and he gets the O'Connor roll with the bridge with 3. When the ref counts 3 and the bell goes, there is 3 seconds left on the clock. Again, it is 2 matches in the span of 3 days that almost went to the time limit. Like, it's been just a beautiful, beautiful. The Sabre one. The announcers weren't calling the time so much. They were really, really, like Kelly was really talking about it in this one. You can hear the announcer, the loudspeaker, really calling out like 1 minute, 30 seconds, and it was really, really tense at the end. And Sonata getting that pinfall with like 3 seconds left was just beauty. But yeah, Mel saying Sonata continuing the trend of missing those moonsaults. Hey, he went 1 for 3 tonight. He did hit a moonsault. You can't say he's always missing them. He went 1 for 3 tonight. You can't get too mad. He went 1 for 3. But yeah, honestly, the first round so far, the first 6 matches in this New Japan TV title tournament have been absolutely phenomenal. I can't say I don't like even I said even the Evil match I didn't dislike an Evil match as much as you do. Again, partially that is Aaron Hanare being a factor in that for me. So I think that's a big part. But yeah. So moving over to the next screen, I'm going to bring that bigger here. And we get the brackets. You get David Finlay moving on to the second round against going to be taking on Zack Sabre Jr. I think that is going to be a phenomenal match. The striker and brawler in David Finlay taking on the technical ace in Zack Sabre Jr. And as I honestly, I want Zack Sabre Jr. to go over in that, but I could easily see there being a path for David Finlay to move on to the next round. I really could see that. And then you have Yoshihashi taking on Evil. Oh God, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. I hope Yoshihashi shows up and has the best match possible, and I hope Goto or Hiroki Goto can help him in Melball, just laughing away at my reaction to an Evil versus Yoshihashi match. But yeah, that one's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be rough, and I hope Goto is there to help stave off Gato and the rest of the House of Torture. But I don't know. And then the other, guess I guess this was the quarterfinals. I apologize. The next other match in the next round of the tournament is going to be Sonata taking on Kenta. That's going to be great, ladies and gentlemen. Sonata and Kenta are going to kill it in there. I think absolutely both these men are going to kill it. So, just for your clarification, October 26th, we're getting Ren Narita versus Tomohiro Ishii. Same with Toriano versus the Great Khan, which I don't even know what to think of that match. And then on the 27th, we get David Finlay versus Zack Sabre Jr. On the 20th, and again on the 27th, Yoshihashi taking on Evil. And then on the 30th, we get Sonata taking on Kenta. Also on the 30th, you're going to get the winner of Ren Narita versus Tomohiro Ishii taking on Toriano versus the Great Khan. And then the semifinal matches will be on November 5th, the final night of Battle Autumn. And the winner, the two final people living in this tournament will meet in the championship final at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that is a perfect place to end this tournament. And again, that guarantees a Wrestle Kingdom match is going to be under 15 minutes. That makes me so happy because that's going to be a long show as it is every year. So I'm excited that it's only going to be 15. We know we're getting at least 1 minute match. It's going to be under 15 minutes. And I would love to see if this all came down. Because they're saying if a match ends in a time limit draw or a double counter or something, they're going to flip a coin. Now, to me, the best is going to be if this match comes down to it goes 15 minutes and they have to flip a coin to see who is the first champion. Oh God, I will laugh so hard. Melball saying don't lose that dinner, but actually I didn't end up eating before this, so I'm good. But yeah, I would love that. Would be to me the funniest way to end this tournament because that belt is kind of belt. It looks very. A lot of people are very unhappy with the way that belt looks, and I'm one of them. It is not a pretty belt. So from here, like I said, there's Toriano taking on the Great Khan on October 26th, along with Ren Narita taking on Tomohiro Ishii. I think honestly, I really, really, really want them to put Ren Narita over on Tomohiro Ishii. Honestly, if this man wins the tournament, that'll make that belt, in my opinion, if Ren Narita wins this tournament. Because again, you're pushing a youngster who you want to be the next Kazuchika Shibata, and this man going up against other people on and this title will be every match for this is free on New Japan World, along with it'll be linked on their social media, so you can come and watch any of these matches for free. You don't have to pay the $9.99 a month for New Japan World, but if you want to, there is so much more there if you want to sign up for that. But I do want to feature coming up on Friday, October 28th, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern for all you people that know Eastern Time better. It will be Rumble and 44th Street Sidecast. It will be me, and I'm not 100% sure if Melball is going to be there or not. She's going to let me know soon, but I will be there for sure. I'll be watching along with the Rumble on 44th Street out of New York City, New York. So it will be at a properly decent time. Unlike the last time we did a live stream at 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That was brutal. But yeah, Melball, the championship looks like a credit card with zero credit. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And then Mel Dahl said she's 50-50 on if she'll be at the live show or not. Again, no pressure, Mel. I'm just saying I would love to have you if you can join me. But yeah, so we are going to be I am going to be showing that. I'm not showing the show. Oh no. I will just be on screen talking about it as the show goes on. So on that card for what's been announced so far as of today, October 22nd, when I'm recording this, you got Clark Connors taking on Minoru Suzuki. I think this is going to be phenomenal. Clark Connors is really being built up as this wonderful wrestler from the Katsuyori Shibata dojo in LA. And Minoru Suzuki, one of the most brutal wrestlers in professional wrestling. He will just this is going to be one, as JR would say, one heck of a slobber knocker. Then you have the Motor City Machine Guns taking on the DKC and Kevin Knight taking on the current strong openweight tag team champions, Aussie Open and Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. I think, oh my God, this is going to be a great three-way match. And this was actually a match challenge, the Champions Challenge. You had DKC and Kevin Knight actually wanted a challenge. And then they said, okay, we'll defend against you, but we also want to defend against the Motor City Machine Guns because they were because they were defeated by the Motor City Machine Guns on Impact. Mel's saying she would love to join me, and then Asher saying yes, Asher, thank you for dropping in. I very much appreciate you being here. But then from there, the next match is Rocky Romero and Yo taking on Yujiro Takahashi and Sho. At least October is not going to be there, thank Christ. But again, you're going to get House of Torture antics, and I look forward to seeing what this match could be, but I don't think it's going to be the cleanest match, and there's going to be a lot of House of Torture antics with them, like, God. It's one of those ones where when I see anybody House of Torture, I'm just like, do I have to watch this? But I'm going to because it's going to be part of the pay-per-view. And then we are getting Shingo Takagi taking on El Phantasmo. So they haven't decided what the stipulation is going to be. It's either going to be show me your daddy match, which I'm not even sure. I can't remember who it is. But then it's the other, or it's going to be a New York City street fight. It is currently being voted for on Twitter, on the New Japan Pro Wrestling Twitter account. So yeah, Melball calling saying Battle of the Daddies. Well, it's the Battle of the Daddy and El Phantasmo because Shingo Takagi did win that match, and he's officially the daddy. And yes, and with Yujiro Takahashi, we might see Peter, but that's if she wants to travel over to North America. So will she? We don't know. No, Mel, he does not. He's already been spanked once. He doesn't need to be spanked again. No, I don't ever need to see that on a professional wrestling broadcast. So please, God, no. And then your main event of the evening, at least as of right now, I don't think there can be anything else be the main event. And that is Juice Robinson, Jay White. Juice Robinson, the man who's always lying to us, always saying he's going to be, he's always not with New Japan, or no, you're with New Japan. You're just lying to us over and over again. Juice Robinson, member of the World Cup, and with the leader of the World Cup, Jay White, the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion, taking on Kazuchika Okada, the man that will challenge him on January 4th, and Eddie Kingston, who he's been feuding with. And yes, the Rock Hard Screamer, Juice Robinson, the man who just keeps lying to us all. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this match will bring, because I'm a big fan of Jay White. I've really become a huge fan of him over the last few years since he's returned to New Japan. I think he's absolutely phenomenal, one of the best heels going in professional wrestling. Juice Robinson, when he wants to be on, he's really, really good in the ring. Again, yeah, you're right, Mel. This will be a banger, actually. You better be watching this. And because Chico Okada, you can't get much better than this guy currently in professional wrestling. I don't think there's many better. He is, to me, he is now the ace of New Japan. I think he is the best guy going in that company. Again, maybe, I like Jay White as champion. Don't get me wrong, I would like him to name champion. But KFC is wonderful. And then Eddie Kingston. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Eddie Kingston, but he always delivers for crowds, and he makes a lot of people happy. And his style, again, should get me excited. It's his character that I just can't get behind. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Ash is saying she does love Eddie. Again, like I said, I'm just not a big fan of the guy. But again, he is a very, very popular professional wrestler these days, and all the power to him. Like, use it, get over. You're doing something again. You're doing something right. Again, I don't see it, but again, that's just a personal opinion. He's doing great in the world of professional wrestling. But as it is, that comes to an end of this stream and this episode of New Japan Puroresu Review. I want to thank everybody who turned up in the chat. I want to thank Adam for his raid earlier on. That I really, really appreciate that. Astrid, thank you for showing up. Mel, thank you for coming in and giving maybe my co-host from the chat. Ash is saying, I especially love the way he isn't afraid to talk about his mental health. I 100% respect Eddie Kingston for being an advocate for mental health, especially for men, where men, it's very stigmatized for us. Again, it's stigmatized for everybody, but again, I know, especially being a man myself, I've dealt with mental health issues. I hope everybody who has ever had mental health issues can get out there and get help. But I've struggled with them myself, and when he's out there talking about mental health issues and really advocating it, especially for men too, because we don't get a lot of support in mental health and what we should be getting mental health. I really respect Eddie Kingston for that. But again, just not a fan of the character. I love Eddie Kingston, the man behind it all. And as to say, mental health is very important to bring life for everybody, men, women, children. It's a lot of us struggle every day, so if you can get help. But from here, thank you very much. Check out this coming Friday, October 28th. It will be myself on stream. Hope maybe Melball will join me. You never know who else might drop in the chat. We'll be watching the New Japan Rumble on 44th Street pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come and join us. You can check out all of our stuff on our YouTube page, Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube, or you might be watching us on Backbreaker Video. Our good friend Mike the Rep, I want to thank him very much for putting all of our stuff up, and thank you so much, my friend. Before we go, I want to give a big shout out to Rogue Energy. Thank you so much for sponsoring OLE Pods and us being part of that. You can check out Rogue Energy, rogueenergy.com. Get all your great energy drinks, supplement stuff there. You can get. I know my partner in crime, Melball, has just recently got her package in, and yeah, she's a big fan. He's right here, yeah, buddy. Yes, yeah, Melball. We gotta support Rogue Energy there. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who came in tonight and everybody who's watching on YouTube. Thank you all so much. And you can check out New Japan World for only about $10 a month. It roughly turns out to be American or Canadian. I think it's like 10.50 Canadian, something around there. It's not too bad to get some great Japanese wrestling. And for anybody wanting to see the New Japan Pro Wrestling TV title tournament, all matches will be free on New Japan World after the broadcast is over, so that anybody can watch them, because this TV title is meant for social media, for their TV in Japan. So please check it out. So thank you all so very, very much. And yeah, Melball got us the Shirakawa special, as we call it, from Rogue Energy. Check it out. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you very, very soon.